I'm gonna need you to lock in on this video right now. I'm gonna break down exactly how I would build a 10K per month business in 2026 if I was starting all over again from scratch. And this is assuming that I had no audience, no email list, no network, no notable transformations in my life that I could monetize and then sell as like coaching or a digital product. This is assuming I had no case studies, no testimonials, and I had never ever sold a single thing online whatsoever. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because what if I asked you this? And this is a good question. Human me here for a second. What if I told you that the smartest path and the most efficient path, the most realistic path to building a 10K per month business online wasn't actually by following any of the gurus' business models that you see online? It's not SMMA, it's not an AI automation agency, it's not School, it's not WAP, it's not clipping, it's not YouTube automation, it's not crypto, it's not trading, it's not building an agency, it's not digital products, it's not coaching. It's none of those. I'm here to tell you you have been bamboozled, the wool has been pulled over your eyes, and I'm gonna show you what to do instead. So please lock in on this video because it's the most important video I'll probably make on this channel, and I am deadly serious. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I've got notes. No, this is not going to be flashy, but this has made me over 100K online over 13 times now, like 13 times going on to 14 times now. So when I say this stuff works, this stuff works. It's what's allowed me to make about 1.2, it's actually about $1.3 million online now in my 20s. I started from debt. Dropped out of university, no degrees. I am not special. I do not have a single skill that you can't learn. I'm not special in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I would say I have dyslexia, so I'm actually probably at a slight disadvantage to you. And I'm definitely probably on the spectrum somewhere as well. So let's jump into this, right? So like I said, what I'm about to show you is exactly what I would do to build a 10K per month business, again, from scratch. Building a 10K per month business isn't by following these, you're not gonna do it by following these gurus with one of these cookie cutter business models. I'm gonna be jumping in the computer and showing you exactly why I say that in a second. Now, like I said, this has made me about $1.3 million online. Is what I'm actively doing right now to rebuild a business. And I'm going to be doing this live on this YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe for that. I'm actually going to be putting a free training together as well, so go below, join the waiting list. I'm only going to let a couple people in and actually watch that because it's going to be that valuable. That's the plan for it anyway. Now, like I said, I need you to premise this video and go back into the imagination state that Montel has gone back like 6, 7, 8, 9 years, let's say 10 years ago, right? Let's say I'm working a dead-end job, I'm working a 9-to-5 job, and I'm hating it. Let's say I'm making 50K a year, because the average in the US is about 61-ish. I just looked it up. It's about 61K per year is what people are making on average. The median is probably lower than that, so I'm just going to take 50K. Let's say I had no audience, no social media presence, no network, no email list, less than 3K in my bank account, right? Let's say I had no experience, no case studies, no testimonials. I'd never sold anything before online, like whatsoever. And I also had zero notable achievements or transformations in my life that I could then sell as like coaching. What on earth would I do in that scenario? Well, first of all, and this is the one thing that people don't like to hear, the first thing I would do if I was dead broke starting again, that I would genuinely tell my younger self is, bro, genuinely just go get a job. Like, just go get a job to at least cover your bills, because there's nothing worse trying to build a business, right? It's one of the worst things you could do. It took me 17 entire months of messing around online just to get one client for my marketing agency when I started, right? And by the way, this is going to link into all the different business models that you can try and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, because the actual key to all of this is not a business model. Do not follow these business models thinking you're going to get rich. What I've noticed, that people that get rich become synthesizers, or they start synthesizing. That is what you want to be. 2026 is going to be the rise of the synthesizer, and I've been trying to tell you guys this for so freaking long. Again, free training is going to be below. Join the waiting list. It's going to explain the exact smartest path with the exact steps and a lot more in depth than this. Obviously, this is just a YouTube video. Anyway, firstly, if I was dead broke starting again, I'd legit go and get a job to cover my expenses and to fund my business on the side. There is nothing worse than trying to build a business with absolutely $0 in your bank account. I've been there, I've tried it, it sucked, I made it out, but it honestly sucked. And like I said, although I did it, it took me way longer than what was needed. It took me 17 months to get one client due to lack of cash flow and trying to do cold outreach and post organically. Cold outreach and posting organically can work. It absolutely works. I'm posting organic right now. It absolutely works, but it takes years. Doing cold outreach can work, but honestly, it's one of the suckiest things you can do. It drains you more than what it's going to pay you. I'm not even joking. So I'm going to show you exactly what to do instead. So step 1, go get a job if you don't have a job to cover your expenses. Step 2, you're going to reframe your expectations from going from 0 to 10K a month in like 3 months to 1 year to 18 months. You're going to change it in your brain. Please be realistic, right? You're asking the universe to really bend to your will here. You've got no skills, you've got no testimonials, you don't even want to post your face on on social media, and you're asking to go from 0 to 10K a month in 3 months. Come on, let's be more realistic than that. Let's go from thinking in 3 months terms to 1 year terms, 2 year terms, 3 year terms. Let's get a bit more realistic. Let's reframe our expectations, right? Don't fall for the hype. Yes, on this channel, I've shown students that have gone from like 0 to 10K a month in like 17 days, 20 days, or whatever it is. Yes, that has happened, but they've got the cash flow to do that. I'm telling you, online business now is starting to become a little bit more pay to play. Everything's getting more saturated. Trust is going down. We're in a trust recession right now. Anyway, step 3, here's what I would do. So step 2, reframe your expectations. Step 3 is you're going to calculate your monthly expenses in a basic ass Excel sheet. If you really want it, I'll throw an Excel sheet example down when you go sign up for the free training. I'll just go and send you that. By the way, I'll send you this document that I'm looking at right now. You probably can't see it right now on the screen, but I'll throw the document inside there and send you the document as well, so you can have these steps step by step. Anyway, calculate my monthly expenses and put it into an Excel sheet. I would then look at all my expenses in like a line item, and then I would start cutting any and all unnecessary expenses and luxuries that I may have. Netflix, gotta go. Crunchyroll, watching anime, love anime, you gotta cut it, right? Eating out, you gotta cut it. Any expenses you see, your OnlyFans subscriptions, you gotta cut it, right? I hope you're not fucking subscribed to OnlyFans, guys. You gotta lock in if you have. But anyway, long story short, I may even start sleeping on my cousin's couch, like I actually did. By the way, I actually did that. I would shack up with friends. These are just examples of you cutting expenses, by the way. You might have to stay on a sofa, sleep on a sofa for a couple months, maybe a year. You may have to share accommodation like I did. I ran away from home and lived with my girlfriend, and we had to kind of like split bills, even though I couldn't pay bills for the longest time. And she kind of supported me. You gotta do, this is my ex-girlfriend, by the way. You gotta do what you gotta do to cut your expenses, right? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because you're going to need as much money as you possibly can to put in your business. Your business is going to be like a baby. It's going to be like a baby that you need to love, nurture. It's going to require all your attention, your finances, your mental strength, everything. And even Alex Hormozi said in one of his books, I don't know which book it was, it's one of his books, but I remember actually quoting this in one of my programs as well, that Alex Hormozi literally said that ad money for the business literally is so important that it should come before your food money. Meaning, if you've got if you've got to feed yourself versus feed the business with ad money, so like paid ads, he would rather spend the money on feeding the business. Now, I don't take it to that extreme, but I really honestly kind of agree with it. Your ad money comes before food money. So if you're going out to fancy dinners, forget that. You got to cut that shit, and you got to put that money into actually building your business. If you're serious about this, because think about it, what's the alternative? The alternative is living a life that you don't live, driving a car that's fucking shit, having an average ass girl, living in an average ass apartment, dinky ass looking apartment, living a life that's completely miserable, or you can lock in for 2-3 years and do what I'm saying instead. The choice is honestly yours. So step 4, right? So step 3, like I said, find out my expenses, cut the expenses. Step 4 is, this is where the rubber meets the road now. Step 4, you're going to need to skill up. If you're working in friggin' Walmart, Tesco's, you're an accountant, whatever it is, right? Let's say you're working a job that doesn't require, that's not really giving you a real tangible skill. Like accountants, technically, that was a bad example because accountants obviously could probably monetize that and teach like personal finance online and whatnot, but that's not for people that I'm making this video for. I'm making this video for people that are literally working in like an Amazon warehouse, and you've literally, the only skills you've got is stacking boxes. How are you going to monetize that? You can't. So what you've got to do is you've got to skill up. You've got to become an absolute sponge. I call this the sponge phase. So step 4, enter your sponge phase. This phase is where you're literally going out there and you're just soaking up knowledge from courses, YouTube videos, blogs, free communities, AI, maybe even mentors. You probably might not even be able to afford a mentor, so you're probably gonna have to buy courses on like Udemy for like £25 or whatever it is, $25, $30, $50 here and there. YouTube videos, blogs, free communities, AI. You're gonna start skilling up. Now let me explain why you need to skill up, right? You need to skill up so that you can take that skill and then you can put it into a service and wrap it and package it into an offer. right? I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. You need to basically sell a skill as a direct service to start before you even start thinking about offering coaching and courses. This was my mistake trying to teach beginners digital products. I'm no longer doing that. I'm going to teach them how to turn that same digital product into, or digital product idea, if they was already in my kind of like ecosystem, then I'm going to turn them and show them how to turn that same thing into a done for you service. Start with some sort of done for you service. And here's why. No one is ever going to pay you anything if you aren't able to provide value. And the way you provide value to people is by helping them either gain a transformation or save time. You need to help them gain a transformation is what I found. And if you just want me to make it just stupidly simple for you, like brain dead simple, so you don't even need to think, listen to this. The easiest thing to sell in the world is the promise of helping them make more money in some way, shape or form. For example, if I came to you and said I can help you make an additional 10K this month, next month, or whatever it was, right? And I was legit, by the way, saying this, and you only had to pay me 2K. This is 10K that would not be realized if I wasn't there. This is the 10K that I'm going to help you make that would actually not be there if I wasn't there. If I could make you that 10K, would you give me 2K out of that or 1K out of that? I'm telling you, 99.9% of people on the planet, unless you're just super skeptical, but let's pretend I'm like super legit in this scenario, and you can see that I'm super legit. And I came to you, for example, let's say I've got Alex Hormozi reputation. Alex Hormozi comes to you and says, I can make you 10K right now in a month. Whatever, right? In 2 months, whatever, right? Realistic time frame, realistic gain, and you can see that this guy knows what he's talking about. He says, I can help you make this 10K. And all you've got to do is pay me 2K once I've made you the 10K. That's once I've made you the 2K. That is obviously a no-brainer, and 99.9% of people would actually say yes to that. Now, why is that? It's because it's the easiest sell on planet Earth. I've noticed a lot of people going out there when I was teaching digital product stuff, that they were going out there and like teaching like how to gain more confidence. Now, that sounds like an okay thing to sell, but the problem is with that is that nobody really cares about confidence unless it's like really tangible and it's going to help them make money in some way, shape or form. If you was going to say, I'm going to help you gain confidence so that you can actually land a 60K per year job, then that's the promise of money coming in. You see what I'm trying to say? I'm going to help you gain the confidence to ask for a promotion at work, which is then going to get you close to making 100 grand a year. It needs to be that money orientated. You see what I mean? This is why these make money online gurus, even though you don't like them, make a lot of money. Because they've actually figured out a system that actually makes other people money, and therefore it's actually a symbiotic relationship. They help you make money, they get paid money in return. I'm telling you, that's the easiest sell on planet Earth. So you need to think of a skill that's going to help people do that. Now, 4.5, remember, you need to skill up, 0.4. These are the skills I recommend you picking up and turning into a service. I call these the core 6. These are the core 6 principal kind of like foundational skills that you can learn that I believe are going to be universally accepted as to be true in ways of making money online. These are always going to be needed, and I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to go down each list of these and ask you if these are going to be needed or not. And you're probably going to say yes. So I would pick one of these core 6 skills to learn. Local lead generation for businesses. Let me ask you a question about this. Do you reckon businesses, local businesses, need more leads? Do you think they will ever not need leads? The answer is no. They're always going to need more leads because leads are customers, potential customers, right? Long form content. So the first one is local lead gen for businesses. The second one is a long form content agency. Do you really reckon that somehow the internet is just going to stop with long form content? Do you really think that's going to happen? Like, even if YouTube does shut down, don't you think there's going to be other platforms like YouTube? The answer is yes. Do people make money from long form content? The answer is yes. So therefore, if you can help people with long form content, you're going to make money. Now, here's the key to this. Do not become a video editor. You're going to reframe it as somebody who helps X, Y, and Z business make money through long form content. You see the difference? An editor is just somebody who chops up your videos. That's just somebody who helps you chop up videos, right? You're going to position yourself as an agency that helps, insert your niche here, like let's say online coaches. I help online coaches make an extra 10K a month through long form content. You see how you just went from being a video editor that charges like maybe $50 a video, $100 per video, to somebody that can charge $2,000 a month. Did you see the change there? It was one sentence. You went from video editor to somebody who helps other people make money through video. That's the difference. You see how I framed that? That's what you need to do. So long form content agency, then you've got short form content agency. And let me ask you this, do you really reckon short form content is gonna go away anytime soon? The answer is probably no. Next is we've got an appointment setting agency. Do you really reckon businesses won't need appointments anymore? Now you're probably thinking, yeah, but Montel, AI can do all of this appointment setting and the local lead gen. Yes, that's the point. These are your core 6. Then you strap on AI to each one of these core 6s. That's how you do it. That's how you really use AI and how you really sell AI. People don't want to buy AI. People want to buy the thing that AI allows them to do, which is to run their business and generate more customers and make them more money at the end of the day. AI is just a tool in your arsenal. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a tool on your tool belt. Think of Batman and all the tools he's got on his freaking belt. AI is just one of those tools, right? That you strap on to help with these core 6. The next one of the core 6, the fourth core 6, is a community operator. This is a person that manages people's communities. They set appointments inside the community and they run ads to these communities to get more members. I've made a video on all of this, these core 6. Go watch the previous video. Email marketer for online brands, coaches, and e-commerce stores. These are your core 6. Pick one, stick to it, and learn everything you possibly can around each core 6, and then learn AI that helps you then speed up each one of these core 6, right? So pick a core 6. I'll say the core 6 one more time. Number 1, local lead gen for local businesses. Number 2, long form content agency. Number 3, short form content agency. Number 4, appointment setting agency. Community operator is number 5, and number 6 is email marketer for online coaches, businesses, and e-commerce brands. Anybody that uses email, basically. Anybody that uses email. Pick one of those core 6 and then dive into all the courses you can find on it, the YouTube videos that you can find on it, the blogs, free communities, and AI. You're going to skill up. Next thing you're going to do after you've skilled up is this. Don't just sit there on a bunch of knowledge. This is where you go wrong, guys. This is the key. This is my whole premise of this video. So please lock in on this point. Most of you are probably not even watching this point. So if you are, drop a comment, lemon in the freaking comment section so I can see who's listening. Right? I would then, at this point, now that I've got a skill and I'm actually actively participating in that skill, learning it, and I'm taking it seriously and I'm dedicating my life to learning this skill, here's what I would start doing and where you go wrong. You need to go from being the one that's behind the computer listening and learning to the one that's speaking to the camera. This is what you guys don't want to do. And you know this to be true. Think about any person you've probably bought an online program from, or you've listened to, or that's helped you, or whatever it is, or that you look up to, or that you see on YouTube. I am telling you, they're doing this. They learn a skill, test a skill, synthesize that skill down, and they make YouTube videos and short form. They make short form content and long form content around that skill. Obviously run some paid ads here and there. This is what these guys are doing. And then they're selling you on business models and they're not telling you to do the same thing that they're doing. This is what pisses me off a little bit in this industry. People are selling you on business models, right? And they're not telling you that to get to where they're at, what they actually did was actually build an audience of buyers by synthesizing information. And I'm here to tell you that's what you need to be doing. Building an audience of buyers by synthesizing information. Because on the back end, your business model doesn't even fucking matter. Think about it. Alex Hormozi right now, because he's got an audience, can open up an agency and get that shit sold out tomorrow in the most saturated niche possible that Facebook has for e-commerce brands. He wouldn't even need to have a guarantee or an offer. You just be like, hey, I've opened an agency. Literally, Alex Hormozi can create a video like I'm doing right now and say, hey, by the way, I've created an agency. Join. It's 10 grand a month. He will sell the shit out of that. He could put together a coaching program and be like, hey, this coaching program's 20 grand. Go buy it. People will buy it. He could put together a low ticket digital product. People will buy the shit out of that too. So all free, agency, coaching, digital products, courses, he could do all free. The reason why is because Alex Hormozi is the highest level of synthesizer you could possibly think of. He's like the top dog right now when it comes to this online business stuff. So that should right there just prove my point that it's not about these business models. It's not about running an agency or AI automation agency. It's not about YouTube automation. It's not about coaching. It's not about digital products. It's not about running an agency. All of those businesses work. Don't get me wrong. Some businesses are better than others. I don't really like the whole YouTube automation thing, but you get the idea, right? Once you've got the list or an audience of buyers by synthesizing information, people will know you, like you, and trust you and want to buy, right? So step 6, I would then start displaying my understanding and my knowledge by posting content around the skills I have now developed by synthesizing other people's information. Meaning I would literally watch courses and YouTube videos and read blogs and read books and, go to people's communities. I would learn skills, and the things that I would learn, instead of just me being sat there thinking about them, I would go and make content around those things. This is literally what I did to get my first ever client for my marketing agency. This was a real estate agent, right? The way how I got them was I struggled for 16 entire months. I didn't get a single client because I was doing cold outreach, reaching out to people, the whole traditional cold email stuff, cold calls, cold LinkedIn messages, all that sort of stuff, right? I didn't get a single client. Nobody took me seriously. Even when I did set a sales call, I got on that sales call and nobody knew me, liked me, and trusted me. It was the most awkward thing ever. Then I said to myself, what are these gurus doing that are making them so much money? And I realized they're all posting content, and they're all building audiences, and they're all building trust over time. So I said, why don't I do that, but inside of the real estate agency kind of like niche? I then started creating content on LinkedIn and a few bits of content on YouTube. This is back when I had no followers. Nobody knew, Young Montel back then, right? No clout, no money, no nothing, right? Posted content on LinkedIn for 30 days. Connected with a whole bunch of people that I knew were real estate agents on LinkedIn using an automated tool called Meet Leonard. People then accepted my friend requests on, my LinkedIn connection request on LinkedIn, and then they saw my content on LinkedIn. That content then led them to one simple video called a VSL, video sales letter. These VSLs, by the way, you can put them on YouTube these days as well, by the way. I'll explain that in a second, right? And then people, or should I say real estate agents, booked a call with me. The particular client, we'll go back to the particular client I'm talking about. They booked a call with me, jumped on a call with me, which I was like, oh my days, I've actually just booked a call coming inbound to me for the first time ever for like an agency, right? Booked in a call with me, jumped on a call with them, and they were already sold by the time I even opened my mouth. They were already sold because they watched my content, they were soaking up my content, they watched my VSL, jumped on a call with me, and they already knew who I was, what I do, what my offer was, what experience I had, what case studies, the lack thereof of case studies, and I was using a mentor's case studies. By the way, shout out to Jason Wardrop. He wasn't my mentor, but that's the guy I was synthesizing off of, and that's how I did it. That's literally it. That's literally how I got my first client. They booked a call with me, and I closed them like that on that very same call. They were sold. They just had to talk about it after the call. Well, he mentioned it to his business owner. His business partner, and then I ended up closing them. Anyway, long story short. Now, the reason why you need to display your understanding is because too many people are telling they can do certain things. Like, stop telling people you can do things and actually show them instead. Showing is more powerful than telling. It's way more potent, right? So you need to start showing that you understand how to do the service or whatever it is that you're trying to sell, the skill that you're trying to sell. You need to show people that you actually have this skill. Again, stick to the core 6 if you don't have any skills, right? So here's what you need to do. You're going to pick one short form platform and one long form platform. I recommend your long form platform be YouTube. Done. That's it. You're now a person that uses YouTube to get clients. Done. That's it. Done. Do not squeam out of this. Do not try to run from this. You have to do this. Boom. That's done. YouTube, but done. Don't even think about it. Don't even change it. Stick to YouTube for the next 3 years, right? That's it. YouTube's done. Good. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to choose one short form platform, and I'm going to make it super easy for you. You're either going to pick LinkedIn if you're more B2B and your audience lives more on LinkedIn, or you're going to pick Instagram if more of your audience and your potential prospects live on LinkedIn. If you're not sure which one to pick, type in your niche, your idea, your core idea of like the core 6. Pick what core 6, put it into ChatGPT and ask it, where would the majority of people who need my service live? Is it more like on LinkedIn B2B, or is it more like B2C on Instagram? And then pick that platform and stick to it. Post one time per day, right? Now the reason why you need to do this, and I'll spit out some facts. Google already did a study, the 7-11-4 rule. It takes a prospect around 7 hours of consuming your content before they decide to buy. This is why I wasn't getting in clients. Think about this, and I'm actually going to throw this on the screen right now. So here you can see on my screen, right? This is a brand new incognito chat with Claude. Use any chat, right? And I just put in this. If I was starting an agency, what percentage of cold prospects do you reckon after 30 days of knowing me, of doing cold outreach, would actually then book a sales call with me? So basically I'm asking it, Like, what's the buying window? What's the buying cycle time? And the honest answer is about 0 to 2% of prospects. I think this is extremely high. I think it's about 0.3%, by the way. And it actually says it down here that it actually rectifies it. So the honest answer is about 0.5% of prospects, cold prospects, might buy in the first 30 days. Meaning if you reach out to a client today and they know you and you follow up with them over 30-day time period, only 0.5% of them will actually buy, which means you need to reach out to about 2,000 people a month. And then you have to reach out to 2,000 people a month, times that by about 12 touch points, because it takes around 12 touch points, as they say, to get a new client, which is actually even more than that. But I want to show you this right here. Take a look at this. Typical B2B buying cycle. You're not going to be selling low ticket kind of like services. You're going to be selling a nice mid ticket stuff like, 2K and above, I would say. And what you're going to do, right, is you're going to look at this number right here. It takes, on average, a business owner around 60 to 180 days of knowing you and seeing you online before they decide to buy. And I'm here to tell you, this is absolutely facts. Do you know how many people that watch this very YouTube channel that you're watching right now that have done so for like 2 years, and only after 2 years of watching my content have they decided to then send me a DM on Instagram or click the link below and say, you know what, I'm just going to start working with Montel. And they've either become a coaching client or they've actually decided to buy one of my digital products. 2 years. Some of them do it after 60 days. Some of them do it after 6 months. Some of them do it after 4 years. Problem is this. You don't have a long tail nurturing platform right now that has 7 hours of content that somebody can watch right now. Where's your 7 hours of content? Where is it? You see why you're not getting clients now? You don't have, first of all, a way to continuously engage people for 60 to 180 days. I do with this very YouTube channel. I also have a way of getting people to consume more than 7 hours of my content. Do you have 7 hours of content online that people can consume? This is why short form content isn't that great on its own. Because think about it, 7 hours of content is around it's exactly 420 minutes, which means in order to get somebody to soak up your short form content to get to that 7 hour rule, they would literally need to watch 420 of your reels in a row. Each one of them was a minute long. My brain kind of like fizzled out there. But as you can see, that's a lot of reels that you need to post, which is why long form content is much better. So what is the alternative and what is the solution? The solution is what I like to call the reverse organic funnel. I'll explain this in a second. So would creating content, as you can see, I asked it, and using paid ads to boost that content work better? Example, posting on, Instagram that only my ideal, prospect / clients, potential clients would resonate with, then spending money to boost that content in the ads manager, and then DMing all the people that interacted. Would that be a better way for me to get clients? Now you're thinking strategically. This is significantly better. And I can actually prove this. I actually made a video about this on my channel where I made like 86K in the first 44 days or something like that. I'll, link it below or whatever if you want to watch it. It will probably be mentioned in the free training anyway. But this is what I like to call the reverse organic process or reverse organic funnel. It works like this. You create content that you know resonates with your ideal client avatar. Only they would resonate with it. If you're talking about Facebook ads for real estate agents, guess what? You talk about Facebook ads for real estate agents and everything to do with that niche and that particular skill that you have. And then what you do is you're going to use ads to reach real estate agents by literally posting real estate agent related content to real estate agents. So only the real estate agents are going to be like, hey, I am actually interested in this. And then they start liking your content, commenting and all that crazy stuff, DMing you on Instagram and all that crazy stuff, or LinkedIn. If you're going to use LinkedIn, because you can do this on LinkedIn. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start DMing all these people that have started commenting, liking and interacting with your content, and you push them to get on a call. If they're not ready, you push them to your YouTube channel and they get nurtured over 60 to 180 days. You see the difference? Hopefully you can see the difference. Now getting back to the actual steps. So step 6, like I said, I would start displaying my understanding by posting content around the skill I now have by synthesizing other people's information that I learned from their courses, their YouTube videos, their blogs, all that good stuff. I would use one short form platform and one long form platform. We just discussed that. And the reason why is because Google did that 7-11-4 rule. 7 hours of content somebody needs to consume across 11 different touch points with you and across 4 different platforms. So I just use 2 platforms personally, plus email. That's the third one. People only buy, and the reason why is because people only buy from people they know, like, and trust. And videos Like long form videos, do that the quickest. We are going through a trust recession right now, and cold outreach sucks. Everybody's using the same scripts, everybody's using the same Alex Hormozi style offers, and everybody's using the same ChatGPT friggin' prompts, right? To actually then go and write their scripts. And this, even people are even using the same friggin' outreach software to do this, like Instantly.io and all these outreach softwares. Now, the buying window has increased drastically. Like it said, it takes about 60 to 180 days of somebody knowing you for them to vet you over about 180 days, 60 to 180 days before they decide to buy from your agency. So you need a way to nurture people over 180 days. You see what I'm trying to say? That you need a platform, because people just don't see you on day one and think, oh yeah, I'm going to buy. Some people do that, don't get me wrong, but the chances of you doing that is very, very small, very slim. The majority of my money has come from people that have consumed my content for like 4 months. Genuinely, I would say like 90% of my actual money that I've ever made has come from people consuming my content for more than like 2 months, I'd say. So the buying window is about 60 days for sure. That's what I've noticed as well. Everybody comes to me like, I've been watching your content, I already know what you do, I'm ready to buy. And they buy. And that's what you need to get into. Now, don't look like a scam online. And then what I mean by this is, do the opposite of what you've been doing. You're literally trying to reach out to business owners and people, right? Whatever your service is, you're literally trying to reach out to people that are cold. These are cold, random strangers that don't know you, like you, trust you, right? Which is already a bit off. Nobody trusts anybody these days. You've got zero content online. Your platform's looking weak as hell. Like all your social media platforms look weak as hell. You look shady as hell. You're trying to hide your face online, and then you expect people to trust you with $2K a month for their money. Like, come on, guys. You wouldn't even trust you by reaching out to you. Genuinely, if you was a business owner right now, look at your profiles and pretend that you've reached out to the future you that's the business owner. You wouldn't even trust you. You look shady as hell. Now, step 7 is this. I want to say this. Posting content isn't enough. Don't rely on the algorithm gods to just organically bless you with some traffic. Here's what I would do. So, I'm going to recap. Step 1, get a job if you're dead broke. Step 2, reframe your expectations. Step 3, calculate your monthly expenses and cut them down. Step 4, skill up. Step 5 or 4.5 would be to pick one of the core 6. We already mentioned that. I already know what the core 6 are. I would then display that I understand how to do one of these core 6 in my content. I would then, this is step 7, posting content isn't enough. What I would do is actually use paid ads, so like $10 a day, to actually push my content out to potential prospects. So these are people that are in my actual niche. So if I'm talking to real estate agents, I would get my content to talk only to real estate agents in the actual, what I'm saying in the videos and the content and stuff itself. And I would push that only to real estate agents. So only real estate agents show my stuff. Why? Cold outreach sucks. And, relying on organic your whole life absolutely sucks as well. I just showed you that a second ago on Claude. So what I would do is create that content, boost it out, and then get real estate agents to see that content. So I'm basically using content as the funnel. You see what I'm trying to say? The content is the funnel. And then your content weeds into your VSL. Then, as I mentioned, the YouTube play, which is part 8, your YouTube play is you're going to have one VSL on your YouTube channel. And all your content basically just pushes to that one VSL. So pretend this is my YouTube VSL that I'm recording right now. All my other content, all my other videos on my YouTube channel, let's say I post 2 to 3 YouTube videos a week. Those 2 to 3 YouTube videos a week are just feeder videos that, push to that one YouTube VSL. A VSL stands for video sales letter. This is like a video that basically breaks down who you are, how you can help, what it is that you do, how your offer works, how your service works, how they can get in touch with you, how you can help, all that goes. It's basically just an explainer video of what you do and how you can help them, right? Don't overcomplicate this. Everybody likes to overcomplicate their VSL. You're gonna have one 20, 30 minute long video on your YouTube channel. And then you're gonna have 2 to 3 YouTube videos a week that then, say, hey, by the way, I got full training on this. Go here. Hey, by the way, I got free training on this. Go here. And all that free training is just a video on your YouTube channel, and then below each one of your videos as well have the link to that, basically that main VSL, and then to your actual calendar link as well. Even on Instagram as well, by the way. You're going to do this on Instagram and LinkedIn. So you're going to link to your YouTube, 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 or get people to DM you. I personally prefer it this way. You get people to DM you a keyword, and then you send them over a message, send them over the free training, which then links them to your YouTube channel, because then they can subscribe to your channel and watch you over time. Then here's what I would do. I would get people to book in calls with me, and I would charge anywhere between 1.5K to 2K a month minimum. That's like your minimum. And you're aiming for about 7 to 6 clients. So 6 clients, maybe 7 clients, around that. It's actually 5 clients to about 7 clients. And then step 9, I would then sell one-to-one style. I would actually price about 1.5K to 2K. So I need only about 5 to 7-ish clients. And I would aim for a 20% close rate, meaning I need around 35 to, let's say, 45 calls, including no-shows and people that aren't a good fit to get these 7 clients. So 35 calls, you close 1 in 5, that's 7 clients at 1.5K each. You've done the infamous 10K per month mark. This is exactly how I would do it. And then once I had 2 to 3 case studies on me actually helping people, if I could get them from a media buy, then I could just skip to this bit, should I say. But if it's not possible, I'd get 2 to 3 case studies from my clients. I would then launch what I like to call the CSL funnel. I've got another video on that. I'll explain that in a different video. The CSL funnel, because the CSL funnel allows you to basically book calls on your calendar for around $40 to $80 per call. And then the next steps, this is step 11, would be I would eventually start thinking about introducing coaching and then digital products. So I'm going to recap this one more time extremely quickly, because again, this has made me pretty much all of my money. Oh, and by the way, you can still do freelancing on the side as well. But this is how you build the 10K per month, like agency business, or whatever you want to call it, right? As being a synthesizer, by being a synthesizer, should I say. So firstly, get a job if you're dead broke. Nothing worse than trying to start a business when you're dead broke. 2, reframe your mindset. Go from thinking in 3-month terms to like 2-year terms, like 18 months minimum. I would then calculate my monthly expenses and reduce all personal and unnecessary expenses. Number 4 is I would skill up by watching courses, YouTube videos, and I would do it around the core 6. Again, the core 6 are local lead gen, long form agency, short form agency, appointment setting, a community operator, or email marketing. There are other services that you can learn, but I'm just going to keep it to these core 6 because I know if I give you too many options, your brain's just going to go all scrambled and whatnot. Number 6 then is I would then start displaying my understanding on social media by becoming a synthesizer, so synthesizing information down to build trust with people and to display that I know what I'm talking about. Don't tell people you know what you're talking about. Show them that you know what you're talking about. 7 is I would use paid ads to boost the content that I'm actually creating. Number 8 is on my YouTube, I would have a VSL and push people to that VSL. Number 9, I would then sell one-to-one style to get people on calls, aiming for 35 calls in total to get 7 clients at 1.5K each, that's 10K. And then once I had 2 to 3 case studies, I would launch what you call a cold funnel, which is a cold direct response marketing funnel, which is a CSL funnel. You don't want to go cold just yet and go to cold traffic just yet because cold traffic is brutal. I'd rather you build some sort of warm audience and nurture people over time, because when you go to cold traffic, it's very unforgiving. For example, if you spend $1,000 on some ads to grow your Instagram, and your cost per follow is $2, you get, every $2 you spend on your ads, you get 1 follower. Well, then you're going to get 500 new followers. You've got 500 individual leads you can now reach out to, and they're there watching your stories, watching your content, and watching your future content, watching your past content, and maybe going over to your YouTube channel, all that good stuff, right? Whereas if you spend $1,000 on a CSL funnel and you don't book a call, you've just wasted $1,000. That's it, it's gone. There's no followers. There's no residual compounding effects. I mean, you get a few followers here and there, but the cost per follow is like $20, $10 or whatever. You get the idea. Anyway, and then the last steps are once you've actually built this business, 2-3 years down the line, next steps is start thinking about getting into coaching like I did, and then selling digital products like I did. And that's where the big money is made. Coaching and digital products is where the big money is made. I am telling you this right now. Don't let these gurus fool you. That being said, if you want to sign up for the additional training that goes into even more in depth than what I just broke down here, go register for the waiting list. It will be out very, very soon. I'm actually going to throw I've got a Google Doc in front of me. You've probably not seen it. I'm going to download this Google Doc and I'm going to throw it in there, as well as any other resources that I mentioned in this video. I'll throw it in there as well. So something else that I mentioned. That being said, make sure you go watch this video next because YouTube thinks it will be, ideal for you. That being said, love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys soon. Peace.